This is hard. I feel like my brain is kind of it's kind of all over the place. Let me start again. Okay, here we go. So I've been wanting to do this video since the beginning of April, when I took like 1 or 2 weeks off of publishing videos. And I guess I didn't do it because I just didn't know how to approach it. So I'm just like, okay, let me just not do it and keep on keeping on. But then Chris Ramsey released a video and in a similar topic, and that really inspired me to just say, screw it, just do it. So here we are now. Quick note, I'm gonna do my best to kind of keep this uncut just so you can kind of see where I'm coming from, because I feel like sometimes cutting the video takes away from the feeling that I'm trying to convey. But then again, I'm not the greatest when it comes to just talking on end without saying ah, ooh. So I do have a couple of points on the screen that I might be referring to, so I'll look back and forth, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of just keep talking and hope it goes well from there. So yeah, let's start. I've been making content on YouTube for over 5.5 years. And anytime that I'm not, thinking about creating content, planning stuff out, filming, editing, doing any of that stuff, I'm either working my job, I'm either eating, sleeping, or spending time with family through events or things that are happening. And even during those times, I'm always just, my mind is always just thinking about content creation. What more can I do? So I feel like it's almost gotten to a point where it's not as much fun as it used to be. I feel like every minute of the day, I'm kind of just going through the motions and working. Every minute of the day is planned on, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And it's all just work. And honestly, it gets to be kind of annoying. I never feel like I get the chance to rejuvenate myself. And it's just constantly putting out content. And of course, don't get me wrong, I love doing card tricks. I love creating content. One of my favorite things to do ever is plan out content. Like even like in one of the most recent videos I made, I was talking about numbers and the possibilities of arrangement with a deck of playing cards. And I wanted to kind of make the intro a lot more fun and upbeat. So I really enjoyed planning that. I enjoyed editing and putting the intro together. It was, I had a really good time. So I'm not saying I don't like doing card tricks. I don't like editing and whatnot, but it's taking away a lot of time that I need to kind of recharge. And yeah, I guess that's kind of what I wrote in my notes. Creating a video is so much more difficult than I initially thought it would be, because when I first started my YouTube channel in 2017, it was me sitting there. I had my phone and I played the saxophone, so I had like a metal music stand that you kind of put together and it just comes up. I just put my phone on it, and it was luckily like the stand section was see-through, so I just put my phone on it, made sure that a somewhat of an angle is okay. I just hit record and that's it. And I filmed my video. Let me show you a quick clip from one of my older videos where I did that. What's going on, guys? So just to give you a basic intro to my channel, what we're going to be going through are some basic card handling techniques to more advanced card handling techniques, along with a basic and more advanced sleight of hand, some nice looking flourishes, including the spring and the dribble. And from there, in order to kind of grow, evolve, adapt, I bought a better camera that you're seeing. I've actually had this camera for 5 years now. I did so much research on lenses just to figure out like white balances, ISO settings, and so many different things that I would have never thought of, like setting up the lights that I have in my space so that you can actually see me well and not like a giant shadow just behind me. Figured out the distance, between back then. I started planning out my video ideas. I started planning out the actual videos because I was never the best off-the-cuff type speaker. I would always have to just sit and think for a second before I said something, otherwise it would just come out wrong. And I'm hoping that's not the case in this video that I'm doing. But I had to do pretty much all of that before I even hit the record button. And then from there, once the record button's hit, I have to film the video. Half the time I would get my performance wrong, or I would say something and my mouth would just kind of la la la. And I would have no idea what I'm saying. So I'd have to refilm, and then once that's done, I would have to edit. And once I start editing, sometimes you realize there's small mistakes made here and there. So sometimes I go back to filming, other times I figure out how to adjust the editing. Once that was done, then once the editing was done, you upload the video, created a thumbnail, title. Also, by the way, I had a lot of fun creating that because it's cool. It's kind of fun to see what would work best, what makes the video most clickable. So I enjoy doing that as well. But there's so much more that goes into creating videos than I ever thought before. I thought it was, okay, let me just start up a YouTube channel in 2017, instantly get billions of views. Well, maybe not billions, instantly get millions of views. Like one of the people that inspired me was a million card tricks, because when I was starting, he had, I think, probably over 100,000 subscribers. And I'm like, well, this is so cool. If he could do this, like his setup doesn't look like super complicated, I can do it also. And then when I tried doing it, it was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how anyone does this. My audio was coming out grainy. I had to figure out how to fix audio. My video started coming out grainy because the lighting sucked. I had to figure that out. But yeah, I don't think I want to go off on this tangent. Let me check my notes. I guess the main point I want to get across is it just took up a lot of time, because in addition to that, when you're doing card tricks, you're teaching card tricks, at one point you're gonna run out, right? Because when I first started my YouTube channel, I knew at the very most, 10 card tricks, okay? And these are the card tricks that I had like locked in the vault. Of course, obviously everyone learns card tricks that they learn it and instantly forget it. So I had to constantly keep learning new card tricks, and I had to make sure they weren't card tricks that I previously learned, because you go crazy after a while. I don't know any human that remembers so many tricks, and if you do, hats off. It's definitely not easy. Learning a trick, going out performing it, learning a trick, practicing it, going out performing it, and just being able to immediately teach it on the channel. It's tough, right? Because you need a lot of time from learning the trick or conception of the trick to trying it out and then teaching it. Otherwise, what's even the point of doing that? And if you've noticed, in my past couple of videos that I uploaded, they've all just been self-workers, or very close to self-workers, because I just didn't have the time to sit there and learn a new trick and really practice each of those moves. Even in the self-working tricks that I film, like sometimes I mess up on camera, and it's not even like the trick that I mess up. I realize I'm using like the lighting's bad, so there's a reflection coming off the cards and you can't see anything, and I know at times I should make the adjustment to fix those things. But it's just, at one point, your brain just gets super tired, and it's like, you know what, it's fine. It's fine, you can do this one time, I'm sure no one's gonna notice. And then the comments that you get are, don't use this deck of cards, it sucks, the lighting is not good. So, yeah. But anyway, because of this, I feel like I'm handling cards all the time. Unless there's a reason that I cannot have a deck of cards, like in the shower, I guess I don't like plastic cards. If I'm in the shower, I can't have a deck of cards. While I'm sleeping, I'm no Richard Turner. I can't just shuffle in my sleep. If it's logically possible or plausible for me to have a deck of cards around, I'll have it, and I'll constantly be doing something with a deck of playing cards. So it got to a point where if I attended, family events, if I'm hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, it's like I don't even want to see cards. It's just, I don't have as much fun performing as I used to, because this is all I'm doing. If I'm like I said, if I'm not doing anything else, it's playing cards. So that kind of took away a lot of my interest from just from performing, having fun performing, to it almost feeling like a chore. And I definitely don't like that, because I loved performing card tricks. Before I had a YouTube channel, I used to literally all the time, or I wouldn't even say before I had a YouTube channel, like maybe 1 or 2 years in that I had a YouTube channel, I was constantly asking people, hey, you want to see a card trick? To a point where they didn't even want to be friends. Okay, I wouldn't say that. But to a point where they're like, okay, yeah, great, thanks for showing me this. And unless it was something really unbelievable, they're like, all right, great, let's go back to studying, or let's go grab lunch. It wasn't a huge deal. So yeah, there was a point that I really enjoyed performing like all the time. But since I've been doing this every week and second that I can, it's become more difficult to enjoy. and also, and I'm sorry if it comes across this way, but in no way am I complaining about doing this stuff, because again, I love teaching card tricks. I love creating content. It is like, if I could do anything to make a living, it would be creating content. It's just so much fun. Sorry, I just keep on going on tangents because I usually, again, like I said, I usually have notes in front of me and I can literally read them verbatim, or like look at the screen, read the notes and say it verbatim, cut, do the same thing again. That's what I usually do, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Because like I said, I'm not the greatest speaker, and personality-wise, I am not an extrovert. I am nowhere near an extrovert. I wouldn't say I'm an introvert either. I feel like I used to be an introvert. I would say I'm an ambivert. I'm like 70% introverted, 30% extroverted. So most of the times, what you see in my performances, or when I'm talking to the camera, there is my extroverted personality. And I guess right now I don't have that same in your face type of energy, but that's usually my extroverted I guess energy, like I was saying. So a lot of the times it's just used up when I'm filming, because I want to make this entertaining and I love doing it. So I make it as entertaining as possible. So a lot of the times when I'm not doing this, or if I'm not spending it at work, it's when I'm hanging out with friends and family, it's almost like I'm antisocial, where it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm just gonna sit here in a corner and just hope that no one asks me just anything. Maybe again, there's some days that I feel like I have the energy, but other days it's like, nah, I'm good. So anyway, the point of all this is the solution that I want to test out. And you've probably seen me kind of already start doing this, is instead of doing the 2 videos a week that I did on Monday and Friday, and like the 3 shorts that I uploaded on, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, I kind of want to slim it down to just 1 video a week and maybe 1 to 2, short types of content. And so I've been doing that for the past maybe 3 weeks, and I feel so much less mental stress and so much more energy in other areas. So it's a good feeling. It's a very conflicting feeling, which is again how I feel about making this video. It's a very conflicting feeling because in one regard, I want to be able to do content creation full time. That is what I love doing, and I really want to do it. But at the same time, doing that, in addition to everything else that I'm doing, I have no time for myself or just to have fun. So that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if I can strike some balance, and I feel like that's kind of working. But I guess the downside is, since I'm creating less content and my goal is to kind of do content creation full time, generally when you slow down on doing something, you're not achieving what you want, right? So in terms of, if I put out half the content that I was putting out for the past 5 years, if I just cut that in half, then the views will also be cut in half. The income, which is not that much to start with, will also be cut in half. So everything gets cut in half, and it's hard to find the balance. Man, what? Let me take a quick break. I want to put my thoughts back together. Let me take a quick break, and I'll be right back. When I was younger, my parents recommended that I, read a couple of books, and they suggested this book to me. It was called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And as I got older, there was another version, which was, I think the main version was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And by the way, if you haven't read either of those books, and if you're a teen or a people, I definitely recommend you to read that. It's great books. But one of the habits is sharpening the saw. And you can kind of think of it like this, right? If you're cutting down a tree, and let's say, I guess, if you're sawing down a tree, after a while your blade's gonna get dull. And let's say you cut 4 trees down, and I guess maybe I shouldn't be talking about cutting trees down, but just to kind of use as an example, if you're cutting trees down, right? After a while your blade gets dull, and if you keep trying to cut trees, at one point you're gonna have to be using a lot more strength to make the same progress you were making versus using a fresh new blade. So the purpose of sharpening your saw is that you kind of take time off from cutting trees down, or if you want to think of it as cutting vegetables, you want to sharpen your blade, so it makes your work a lot easier. And that's what I kind of want to view this time as time to, I guess, sharpen my skill set, time to sharpen my brain again, and get that same enthusiasm that I had when I first started, or maybe not even enthusiasm, same energy that I had as when I first started my YouTube channel. So that's really what I'm aiming to do. So in no way am I stopping creating any type of content. Like I said, I'll still be uploading at least one video a week. And am I forgetting anything? Oh, and I also, of course, I also want to use this time to kind of be more involved with the community. I feel like one of the main reasons I started was so that I can teach people card tricks, but then half the time I'm not replying to comments. So I'm gonna call myself out for that. And I really want to. So there are days where I sometimes sit and just reply to comments for like 2-3 hours. But then there are only phases of that. So like it'll happen 1 week and then 2 months later it'll happen again. I just want to be more consistent with that. I want to, be able to listen to what you want to learn and be able to teach that. And if I don't know how to do it, then I'm either going to go learn from someone how to do it. I'm going to teach myself. I'm going to read a book. But I want to be able to add more value to what I'm doing in addition to having fun myself. So yeah, in addition to that, like I said, sharpening the saw, I want to also get better at just making content in general. Again, what I've done here, having my mic up here, having a light here, having a light back there, setting up this camera, figuring out which lens setting to use. I want to get better at content creation, whether it be quality of video, whether it be creating a better hook, creating a better outro, delivering content in a more entertaining way. I want to get better at that also. And then, of course, just spending some time to also relax or spend time with friends and family, so that I feel like I'm also getting, I guess, a social aspect, which is not as much, by the way. If you don't create content, if you're doing this by yourself, you don't get much social interaction. It's weird. I go crazy sometimes. So yeah, I think that'll all help me get back the energy that I had without it feeling very draining. So then eventually when I'm feeling up to it, I'll be back to, uploading on a regular schedule, whether it be 2 videos, 3 videos, 10 videos a week, whatever it is. But I just feel like I need that spark or that energy back. In the meantime, there are a couple things in the works that I'm actually quite excited about. I think I had made a post about this earlier, but I'm going to be starting doing like magic sessions, consultations, discussions, all that kind of stuff that you can just sign up for on my website if you ever want to, just meet with me, discuss ideas, thoughts, if you want to prep for a performance or something. And I made sure to keep the prices fairly cheap, nothing too crazy. I'm still working at everything for that, but that's something I'm really looking forward to. I want to, get to meet more of you. And that'll be like via a video conferencing tool like Zoom or something. So that's something I'm really excited about. I'm really excited to getting to meet you guys and spending some time with you, getting to learn more about you. So that's one thing I'm super excited about. And you probably know that I released my own deck of playing cards back in February of 2021, the Canis Lupus playing cards, which I have right here. I keep with me all the time, obviously, right here on my wall. So I released these playing cards back in February 2021. I wanted to release another deck in 2022. I don't know. Again, I didn't have the time. I don't know what else to say. I have no other excuse. I just didn't focus on that. But I want to be releasing another deck. I want to say soon, right? And by soon, I mean like within a year. So don't expect it like tomorrow or like a month or 2 months from now. But within that time frame. So I'm super excited to be designing a new deck. Sorry. And I'm going to be designing it with my Underground Club members, aka the people on my Patreon. So if you want to be involved in that, once that deck is done, you'll of course get a free deck for contributing to the design and the overall concept. I would love to have you there. If not, that's completely fine as well. But those are 2 things that I'm really excited about, looking forward to. Is there anything else that I'm really looking forward to? I guess taking a bit more of a break is something I'm looking forward to. But also, I'm excited. I'm excited about the future content that I'll be creating, so it's gonna be awesome. By the way, I really appreciate you making it this far on the video. There are not too many people that would kind of just sit and watch me rant on about running a YouTube channel for this long, so, you know, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Just to kind of, you know, wind down now. Like I said, I'm not stopping content creation anyway. I love doing it. I'm just gonna take a step back and do one video a week. And it's mainly gonna be magic content. It's not gonna be too much of like cardistry or challenge stuff or learn with me or deck reviews. Maybe once in a while I'll do those things, but really not too much. I think a lot of that focus will shift on over to my Patreon, because from there I'm not doing those videos on a consistent basis, so it'll be easier to kind of keep up over there. So yeah, so that's one thing. And like I said, my magic sessions or consultations, meetings, whatever you want to call them, they'll be coming to my website really soon. Looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making the deck with my underground club people. It is gonna be awesome, and I don't know what other word to use than awesome or amazing or great. So I think that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for, you know, listening. Thanks for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.